following is a presentation of TFNN. Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the April 18th terrific Thursday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and folks, I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life, because leading an inspired life, folks, that is really what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call Fortune Knocks at the Door of Those Who Are Prepared. You know, Louis Pasteur, he once said, in the field of observation, chance only favors minds which are prepared. How apropos is that, folks? Even in the little things, those seemingly insignificant events of life, it's important to be prepared. Opportunities, folks, opportunities to learn new things are available to us all the time. Nearly every moment offers opportunities to grow and expand our consciousness. How often, I ask you? That's right, all of the time. Here's a true story. Thomas Carlyle, he spent 2 years writing his great piece of work about the French Revolution back in the 1830s. He literally poured himself into his work, striving to capture on paper everything possible about the French Revolution. So proud of this piece of work, he bundled up this large manuscript and he took it to a very, very close friend. His name was John Stuart Mill, and he wanted Mill's personal evaluation. A few days passed, and Mill finally rapped at Carlyle's door, and Carlyle couldn't wait to hear Mill's comments. He got up from his chair. He, big strides to get to that door, and when Carlyle opened the door, he noticed that Mill was milky white, looked gravely ill. He first said, "What happened? What on earth happened?" Mr. Mill told Carlyle that his maid had used that big bundle of papers, that manuscript that Carlyle had spent 2 years writing, to start a fire. To start a fire, not knowing that that precious fuel that she was using was 2 years' worth of work of Carlyle's, his life. Folks, in 1830, they didn't have computers. They didn't have typewriters out there. Everything, everything, 2 years poured into it. 2 years of his life, literally, that's right, literally gone up in smoke. As you can imagine, how would you feel? Days passed, depression set in, and then one day, peering through his window, looking into space, he noticed a brick mason off in the distance building a wall for his neighbor, a security wall. Brick by brick, the mason worked gently and lovingly to build that security wall. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the idea struck Carlyle like a flash of lightning. He, too, needed to be a brick mason and reconstruct his manuscript, brick by brick. Peace came to his mind, and the ideas began to flow. Carlyle pushed aside defeat and produced what became the most colossal work of his lifetime. Yes, folks, brick by brick, word by word, thought by thought, dream by dream, chart by chart, indicator by indicator. We, too, can build a substance from which the masterpieces of our lives are produced. Carlyle's book, The French Revolution, finally was produced published in 1837, and still to this day is the source for those that really wish to get an accurate account of the French Revolution. Folks, brick by brick, become the brick mason of your life, and you, too, will build your masterpiece. Let's go check out the masterpiece of this marketplace. Let's go ahead and take it apart brick by brick. Right now, we've got the Dow futures up about 26 points, trading out at 14,578. The S&P futures up 3.5, trading at 1549. NASDAQ futures up about 9 points. You got Apple up 4 points, actually, here in the pre-market. NASDAQ futures up, trading out at 2783. Russell 2000 up a couple points, out at 906. Across the pond here. Let's go see what we've got going on. Well, over in Asia last night, we certainly handed the ball off and not in a good positive way. The Nikkei down 162 points. The Hang Seng off 57. The Shanghai basically flat, up 4 points out there right now. The DAX over in Germany up 0.2%. That's up 14 points, so no big shakes there. The FTSE up 26 points. We're going to want to really be paying attention to the DAX here. We'll go take a look at their charts as well as many others. Just give us a call at 877-927-6648. Be happy to take a look at your stock chart, whatever it is, whatever question you've got. We'll see if we can help to answer it. If you are listening in on the radio or your mobile device at tfnn.mobi, remember, you can always get this show streaming live to you. Just go to the homepage of tfnn.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see that button with the three little smartphones. Click on that. The show streams live to you as well. You can get the archive on Channel 9. Big, we are truly in earnings season here. So we've got, as far as today's going to be a big day. Today's going to be a huge day. So we'll take a look at some of those stock charts after the market closed yesterday. We had American Express out with earnings. They're basically flat this morning. eBay out as well. They're down about 2.5%. I'm sorry, down 4% off $2 right now. Select Comfort down about 1.5%. SanDisk is up 2% this morning. Theravance, THRX is the symbol. They're up a nice 17% out there. Before the bell so far, we've had AutoNation out there pretty much flat, up 13 cents it looks like. Peabody Energy Corp up 4%. That's up 78 cents. Morgan Stanley out with numbers, totally flat here. Sherwin-Williams out with numbers, down $1. That's off about 0.7%. United Health Group down about almost 4% off, a little over $2. And Verizon Communications up 91 cents. That's up nearly 2% in the marketplace. Let's go start off, and let's take a look at the ES Mini out here. Right now, the ES Mini trading out at 1548.75. Let's look at the possible patterns that we have here. When we came into, was fortunate enough to do Tom's shows while he was out of town yesterday, as we were taking a look at the ES Mini as it was moving down and really testing the lows of Monday. The lows of Monday on the ES Mini out at the 1538.75 range. We were testing that on the ES Mini yesterday around the 12:30, 1 o'clock time frame. Started to see the bulls actually come back into work. They made this nice little piercing candle right here at 1 p.m. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough in my book to right then and there close out my short trade, but it was enough to say, okay, maybe the bulls are coming to work. And as soon as they were able to totally capture the battlefield, as you know, as you take a look at a stock chart here, was the body of that candle that came in at 12:30. The open of that candle was at 1544.50. As soon as we got to close above that, and that took place at 2 o'clock yesterday, that said, all right, the bulls are back in town, and really what really needed to be done is that what we were looking at was getting that oversold situation, that oversold condition worked off. Quite frankly, it has been worked off, and it was worked off coming into about the 7:30 time frame. I got up to a 65 reading on the RSI, Relative Strength Index out there, up at the 65 level. So it's possible that that's all the work off that it needs to do, and just will continue to travel further down. Now, however, there is one heck of a nice possible pattern that looks to be setting up here inside the ES Mini, and that's if it can really get a bounce up into about the 1563 level. Why? What do we have there? We've got nice Fibonacci numbers here. We've got the 0.786 retracement. In essence, that's what the ES Mini did the last time that it made, and this is the move going into the close on Tuesday. Remember, the markets were down with volume on Monday. Back up on light volume on Tuesday, going into that 4 o'clock session. That's where the ES Mini made a 0.786 retracement. Excuse me there. Also, when you take a look at expansions, on my system here, it says 3.09. That's close enough to pi for me. That's good old apple pie. What is pi actually? 3.15, something like that. 3.1415. And so now what you've got here, and that's if you can get. It's if the ES Mini participates here. What will happen here? What will typically happen? Let's say that the ES Mini. Let's say that the S&P, the markets here decide to bounce today. And we had a reading. We had the VIX index yesterday up about 18%. Those high readings typically read to a bounce, a one-day bounce out there. In this case here, if the markets start moving up, people are going to say, well, maybe the bulls are back in town. Maybe Uncle Ben is back buying whatever it is that your belief system says. I say if the market moves up to 1563, 1564, it's giving you one heck of an opportunity to go ahead and jump on the short train out there. Hey, like all trades, you need to always make sure that you've got good money management in place. But right now, as we come in at 917, the oversold condition, that truly has been worked off. 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping in the marketplace. I was not able to get to one of our callers at the 6 p.m. show, and I mentioned that I would go ahead and take a look at this chart. I don't know if June in California is listening in, but she did call. She wanted to take a look at Seagate Technology, so I wanted to at least get that done for her. And if we take a look at Seagate Technologies, as you look at this chart here, brick by brick, as we try to share with you, each of us, we're all different brick masons here at TFNN.com. We all use some different tools, but we still all build pieces of beauty when we take a look at a stock chart. But if you were going to take a look at this stock chart, if you're following along at home, what is it that first sticks out to you as you look at this stock chart? What is it that sticks out? That's right. What sticks out is this high-volume bar. This high-volume bar inside Seagate was on June 29th. Now, what you'll see here, high-volume bar, what do I mean by high volume? Well, there was 89 million shares that traded that day. How about the prior day? 19 million. How about the day after? 6 million shares. Sticks out just like I won't say a sore thumb. It just simply sticks out, and it's something you got to be paying attention to. So June 29th, you've got not wide price spread, but you absolutely do have accelerated volume. That high, 24.85. What does Seagate Technologies do from there? Well, it looks like it makes an expansion of a set of swing points. Let's go see what it is. First, that set of expansion, that swing points, really you'd use the high of May 1st, 2012. We've got to be careful because we are coming into May. We are coming into that sell in May. Take a look at that expansion of that set of swing points. About 35.52 is the 1.272. What did it get up to? August 17, 2012, 35.71. It did come back and test that high volume high, though. We'll be right back, folks.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go finish off this Seagate Technology chart. I said high volume high. I did not mean that. I meant that Seagate came back and tested this high volume bar here. Remember, that's the June 29th level. That high was 24.85. 89 million shares. Came back and tested it back in November of 2012 with 11 million shares out there. And then take a look at that. You got the beauty. You got the relative strength index all the way down at the bottom where it is you should be buying from. You finally got your bullish candle right here on December the 4th. 2012. That says, okay, where's your next target? Your next target on this would be to come back, make a 100% move of a move. What does that mean if you take a look at this chart? Pretty simple. It means you go back to the last really significant swing point. That would take you into that August 20th level when there was a 1.272 expansion of the prior set of swing points that we were looking at. What does Seagate actually do? Well, it gets above that high of 35.71, gets up to a level of 37.94 on January 23rd, 2012. Now, the volume up there is about 15 million shares. Let's use the 15 million share number from January 22nd because it was just a marginally higher high on that following trading session. And what you can also see in the case of Seagate here, getting into that extreme overbought condition, went ahead and worked that way off by moving all the way down, almost getting to the 30 level on the on that relative strength indicator, actually getting down to a level here. Let's give you the exact number, getting down into the level of 32.42. Then what happens? Seagate takes another run for the highs, makes another 100% move of a move, however, doing it with light volume. It was 5.6 million shares going against either 11.8 million or the 15 million. So not enough to bust it up. Looks like Seagate wants to pull back. What price can it pull back to? Let's go see what it's done so far from a retracement standpoint. If we go from the last swing point low, that's February 26th, all the way up to the high that came in on April 10th. You can see we're just slightly below the 0.382 level. No reason for this not to pull back into 33.18. At 33.18, what do we have out here? We have the last time that this really broke out with some type of volume. And the volume here was 8.7 million shares. The bottom of that candle is $33.12. 33.18 is the sweet 618 area. Looks to me like that is where Seagate is headed to at this stage. If you're looking to buy it, the nice buys on this have been when that relative strength indicator have gotten down close to that 30 level. So be looking for that as well. Let's go take a look at some of these other stocks out here. It is big earnings season, so let's go take a look at some of these stocks here in the market. Let's take a look at let's see. The biggest popper out here is Theravance THRX. So let's go take a look at THRX here. This closed at 28.01 yesterday. Right now, this is trading out at 32.59. 32.59 is going to take it above the most recent swing point. That is the time period of the date of July 20th. That high was 31.87. That had 6.2 million shares. Assuming you've got volume out here, that'll say that Theravance wants to go up to 35.77-ish. If it's got some real volume behind it, more likely 40-21. Nothing more than a 1-to-1 or a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals CD. Let's go take a look at, we had, let's see, who's the big loser out here? I don't mean loser in that kind of a sense, but it looks like percentage-wise, we're looking at United Health or eBay. Let's go take a look at eBay. We'll take a look at both of them. Let's take a look at United Health. This is interesting. Let me refresh my chart here. Let's go see what this thing is trading at, because this could be setting up a huge, let me just make sure here. Yeah, I most certainly do have everything. So this is kind of an interesting stock chart to be paying attention to. UNH is the ticker symbol if you want to go ahead and follow along at home. Now, United Health here broke out with volume on April the 2nd, gapped up, created both a bullish and a bearish candle. The bullish side of it was a gap up. The bearish side was that the bulls lost control of that session throughout the entire trading day and created what? Created a shooting star. That is the opposite of a hammer candle. That is a big area of resistance now, which is the high of that shooting star, 63.95. Shooting stars, the highs of what I've noticed is on shooting stars, they don't have to be tested. The highs don't have to be tested. Oftentimes, you'll see during sessions 3 through 8 on a hammer candle that they will be tested. And those end up being good buy areas as long as you don't see a close below it. In the case of a shooting star, not necessarily the same. Yesterday, a little bear sash candle out here, but let's go see what it's trading at here right now, because this is going to be important, and watching how this trades today will be important. United Healthcare right now is trading at, last trade fired off at 58.59. The low that we've got out here is 61.29 from April the 8th. This is setting up a huge island reversal formation. So now you want to talk now. That's assuming that during the day today, during the session, that it does not trade up to a level of $61.29. Big island out there. Big island. Could be a lot of shareholders stuck on that island. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow off 17 points. S&P flat up 47 cents. Composite up $1.50. Russell 2000 up 0.25%, leading the charge the upside. How about that? The weakling out there is leading the charge the upside, up 2 points. Right now we've got Google off $2, Apple flat, Microsoft up 2 ticks, Intel up 12 ticks, Cisco up 17. Theravance, of course, leading the charge the upside, up 16%, up $4.50%. Union Pacific out with earnings as well. They're up $3.70. That's up almost 3%. PepsiCo out with earnings up $3.40. That's 4%. ASML Holdings up $2.38, up about 3.5%. Rand Gold Resources, GOLD, up a couple of bucks this morning. Verizon Communication out with earnings up $1.40. Shire PLC up $1.37. Allison Transmission, ALSN, up $1.53. Taiwan Semiconductor, tying one on, TSM, up 7% this morning, up $1.20. SanDisk up $1. Tata Motors up $1.18. To the downside, Humana. We were taking a look at that before we went into the market open. It has created thus far a island reversal, significant island reversal. We'll go back and take a look at that stock chart here momentarily. I said it's United Health. I'm sorry. United Health is the one that created the island reversal. Humana, though, also down this morning off 4%, off $3 and change. Exact Sciences, EXAS off 30%. Yikes. We'll take a look at that stock chart for sure. EXAS. Let me see what's the deal behind here. Colorectal cancer screening test met primary endpoint. I don't know what that means, but we'll go take a look at the stock chart out here. You got eBay down $275 right now. That's off 5%. Google out with earnings after the bell. We may spend some time today taking a look at Google, trying to set up a trade. Unipixel, UNXL off $2. Philip Morris off $1.77. Baidu down $1.45. Our call number is 877-927-6648. Let's take a look. So we got United Health on the chart here. If you're watching us on Tiger TV. Big island reversal. Island reversal created back on April the 2nd. So he created this island, began that island, building that island April 2nd all the way through yesterday, April the 17th. What you've got so far this morning is you also have some volume in this equity. We'll see if it's going to be significant volume off of the top. It's moving down into that breakout session. Now, that breakout session began really on April the 1st. April the 1st, only 9 million shares, but it's that 22 million share number that you're looking at on April 2nd. So far, in just only 7 minutes of trading, this has done 2.7 million. 2.7 million going against today with 22 million. We'll see if there's if this pace is going to continue out here, but you do have quite an island reversal. So what does that actually set up? Well, number one, what it sets up is at least moving back down now towards the bottom of the consolidation area, or at least its last swing point low. That would take United Health, UNH, down into the 52.51 level out here. You can see this got a couple high volume bars as well, just like when we were taking a look at Seagate. The high volume bar that we're looking at takes us back right here to the day of September 21st out there. 26 million shares. That price high 56.22, low is 54.91. You know, it doesn't look like this is going to give up the fight that easily out here, but it does have that very significant reversal pattern out here. That is on United Health. Now, if we take a look at the weekly chart out here, let's put it on the weekly time frame. That weekly time frame shows that what it's also done is made a double top out here. Came back all the way into the 2005 levels. 2005 is when United Health made its high, made a nice bearish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. The high there was 64.61. Didn't get all the way up and test that area, but got close enough back during the week of April the 5th as it got to 63.95. So you can see it's up against some resistance for sure, and says that, okay, if you can't bust it up, it'll at least come down back into this little consolidation area. You have a whole set of swing points that began back in August of 2012. So it's in that $50-ish area right now, trading at 59.07. Let's go take a look at, there was one stock here. What was it? There we go. It's down 29%, EXAS. So let's go take a look at that stock chart. Let me just flip it back and forth in between a couple of tabs that I've got. So EXAS, and we're going to go see what this is trading down into here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can type. Look at that thing. Oof, down with major volume out here. So EXAS, we're going to have to pull this thing back quite a ways, it looks like. So EXAS right now, let's see here. It's trading out at 639. Volume so far today, 5.1 million shares. Let's put this on a longer-term chart first. We can always come back to the daily. Yikes! How about that for a wide-ranging bar to the downside? That is a big-time wide-ranging bar. So it looks like this equity is going to now, it's already broken the last time it had any kind of volume out here. Well, it's coming down. It'll test this high-volume weekly low, which was October 29th. It wasn't a low. It's just the low of that bar, which is at $6.70. Looks like it's going to go ahead and take that on. It's got a little hammer candle all the way back here. I suspect this is where we'll head to. February 25th, 2011, right around $4.91. That's still a decent percentage down. It's another $2 down inside this equity. That is on EXAS. That's a ticker symbol. The name seems to, I don't know where it is on my system out here, so apologize for that. Well, let me look it up here for you. EXAS, it's Exact Sciences Corp out there. Let's go take a look here at some of the other stocks here. Popping and dropping. So let's go take a look at Humana. That's down 4%. HUM is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what Humana is doing. That gapping down this morning. This thing here, let's pull this back. This here tried to bust out. This also had some big volume on the trading session of April the 2nd. I suppose that is the same thing as United Health showed, but we can see here. This also, just like now in the case of United Health, that had a shooting star candle. This one did not, this one being Humana. Humana was trying to get up over its highs, its most recent highs, which took you back to February the 8th. 2.6 million shares, 81.87 back there. It certainly had the volume, had 12 million shares, but sold off, and now pulling all the way back. Let's go see. This is going to come all the way back down here, or should come all the way back to the swing point low from July 31st, 2012, somewhere in that 59.92 range. That is on Humana. Let's take a look at, let's see here. You've got Ultratech. UTEK is the ticker symbol. Let's see, they were out with numbers. Their numbers go like this: 13.7 million in net income versus 10.2. Not too bad. Revenues 60.6 versus 49.6. So, and their EPS, earnings per share, 48 cents versus 38 cents. They must be guiding fairly low out here, or they just simply missed the target estimate. Let's go take a look and see what this is actually trading into. It's down 10% this morning. UTEK is the ticker symbol. So gapping down. Well, no, it didn't gap down. Just simply is traded off right from the get-go. You can see a high-volume low out here, so we know where this is going. This high-volume low is the trading session that would take you to October 18th. 1 million shares there. It's going to easily get that type of volume today. It looks like it so far. That low, again, 28.18. It's trading at 32.47 right now. Volume so far, 198,000 shares. So 200,000 shares going into 1 million shares. We've only been trading for 12 minutes. Let's pull this back a little bit further. Looks like that's really where it is going to head to. This thing broke out. So let's take a look at this little wide-ranging bar here. The actual breakout session you like to use is the candle where it broke out from. So that low was the April 19th level. What you really like to do when you take a look at breakouts, the ideal area to be able to buy from is, see this high volume bar that we're looking at here on April 19th? Just go back to the lightest volume trading session before that breakout, see where that low is, see if that's any lower than the prior session, and take a look at using that for the benchmark. It's not, so we'll use 192,000 from April 18th out there. As this equity came and tested that level, tested it on 191,000. Remember, the real benchmark is the 1.4 million. So you're using 1.4 million, and you're using the actual breakout session of 192. Couldn't bust it down then. This equity came back and tested it with a couple 100,000 shares back in July of 2012. Came back and tested that area with 1 million shares there on October the 18th, 2012. Still couldn't bust it down. Tested it again with 134,000 shares. You know, if you can't bust it down, it goes ahead and it tries to bust it up. If we take a look at expansions of swing points here, that set of swing points would be the May 13th, 2011 time frame down to the lows in October. Looks like it was trying to make about a 1.68 expansion to the upside. Missed that. That target would have been $45. Got up to, on March the 8th, $43 even, Steven. Hey, one of those Basil Chapman round number highs as it was making a shooting star on that same trading session. So this is going to come back, and it's going to test that same area that it's tried to bust out the lows on. That's going to be around $28.69. It's trading at $32.81 right now. Let's take a look at a couple things here. Pop into the upside. So let's go take a look at, let's see here. We've already looked at Theravance. Let's look at the leader in the clubhouse right now, and that is Core Laboratories. We'll look at Core Laboratories. Then we'll go take a look at Apple, see what Apple is doing. So the ticker symbol here for Core Laboratories, how about that, CLB? Maybe I can get one of those pronunciations correct here. Of course, this thing looks like, so this gapped up, and now it's traded off. So let's go see what this is trading into. Let me just refresh my chart, make sure I've got all the active data. Trading out at 134.26 as we speak here, and trying to take out its highs. You got a nice bearish engulfing candle on May the 4th, 2012. May 4th, 2012, this thing couldn't take out its highs and started trading lower. I just kind of wonder whether we might see that sell in May cycle again for a third year in a row. I believe the third year, three times is a charm, something like that. Well, this is starting to get pretty charming looking to me out here. If we take a look at this equity, so it's trading off. It did have a decent, well, here we go. We got this little high volume low out here where it could trade back down into, which would be the October 11th time frame. That level is at 99.85. We'll see. Right now it had a little sign of strength that takes you back into January 31st, 2013. There were 1.4 million shares on that trading session. Last time down testing that area was doing it on light volume, 556,668. Again, all of that going against 1.4 million shares. He's got decent volume today, 162,000 shares in the first 16 minutes of trading. That is on Core Laboratories. Let's take a look. I said we'll take a look at Apple, so let's, in fact, go do that. I like to be a man of my word. So AAPL is the ticker symbol. Apple down with volume yesterday. So we saw volume pick up pretty big. We had volume yesterday It's the first time we've seen volume in quite some time here. 34 million shares. That 34 million shares taking out the swing point from March the 4th. That only had 20 million shares. So you've got Apple accelerating to the downside. Yes, the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, 395.45. That's the exact number. Got down to 398.11. Yesterday, so far, intra-session here, 398.63. If you take a look at that volume bar and you start going back here along the left-hand side of the chart, what you will see is you'll see this trading session right here, and this is where I believe that it's first going to give us any kind of signal. That is October the 4th, 2011. Steve Jobs passed away on October the 5th. That's where, I believe Apple is certainly fairly priced out at those levels. Maybe one could make the argument that really it's not fairly priced at those levels any longer with Steve Jobs not being at the helm. And so October the 4th, 2011 also happened to have 44 million shares. You can see that Apple is coming down in that area with accelerated volume. Yesterday was 33 million shares so far in 17 minutes of trading, 3 million shares. So we're off to another volume start inside of Apple out here. If people are having to liquidate positions, you can imagine that Apple would be one of those stocks that folks would go ahead and take whatever remaining profits they might have inside of that equity. Where do I believe Apple is headed to? I would say more likely around the 340-ish range out here. But it's first going to have to bust through that October 4th level. So I'd say right down, a pretty sure bet is going to be the low of 354.24 from October the 4th out there. That's on Apple. Now let's go take a look here at, let's actually peer around the market. So let's do this. Let's go over and let's take a look at the DAX, see what DAXy here is doing this morning. And DAX here yesterday getting down and testing the September 21st swing point high. Now that's important, and it's important from this perspective. The S&P made a significant swing point high on September 14th, 2012. In the DAX, it just happens to be September 21st. So we're really benchmarking the same thing. The DAX moving down into that area with wide price spread. I do not have the volume, unfortunately, on the DAX index, so I can't tell you what the volume is. There is an ETF that we might be able to take a look at. Maybe somebody in the den, it's EW something. Maybe it's EW for all I know, but maybe somebody in the den, if they know what the ETF for the DAX would be, we can go take a look at that and take a look at volumes. Nonetheless, you did get down. The DAX did get down and test that high, rejected it, but with that wide-ranging bar says, nah, it actually wants lower price. Now, when I take a look at the A to B equals CD down on this now, my A point is going to be the high that it made here on March the 15th. My B point is the April 9th low. C point was that little bounce out there on April 11th. The 1-to-1 is 74.17. The DAX wants to get down to 72.89. That's back into November 28th. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow off 30 points right now. S&P off 3, trading at 1548. The composite down 9. Small caps just turned slightly red, down 27 cents. And thank you to Terry in the den who provided us with EWG. That is the iShares for the German index fund. And if we take a look at that here, that September 14th swing point inside the EWG ETF, that has 5.9 million shares, as that area was hit yesterday with 6.9 million shares. So it looks like we would see the same thing on the DAX itself, that area being hit with volume. So coming into that important swing point with volume. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because let's go take a look at the actual S&P 500. So let's go ahead and compare the two because there is synergy in the markets. And what you will see here is the September 14th swing point inside the S&P 500, 1474.51. I suspect that is where the S&P wants to get down to. If we take a look above the S&P or above the September 14th area for the next set of swing points or any area of possible support, well, that becomes pretty easy. That happens to be the February 26th level out there. That's 1485. So your range here, 1485. All the way to the September 14th high, 1475. So we got a little 10-point move there. And then, of course, if we take a look at the retracement simply from the November 16th low, that price point was 1343, all the way to the high in the S&P 500. That was put in on April the 11th. That was 1597.35. The dead cat bounce is 1500.32. So where is the S&P headed to? Well, at a minimum, it's not even much of a retracement. Is 1,500. So that's a dead cat bounce. That's what you would expect. It's working off a oversold or overbought condition here. We're seeing volume down on down days. We're seeing our high volume on down days. We're seeing light volume on up days. 1546.72, pretty crucial number here. Pretty crucial number, not just for the day, but most certainly for the week. We've had a rejection of that October 11, 2007 swing point, that 1576.09. I've gotten a rejection of the high. What you like to see is a full rejection of the low. So whether you're bullish or bearish doesn't matter. What we're all doing here is we're taking pieces of information to help us understand what the markets are communicating to us. Right now, you've got the S&P trading out at 1546.66. We saw yesterday that this 1546.72 level was attacked. And it held. We're now starting to see the S&P break outside of the trend line and the channel line. Broke out of the channel line a couple of trading sessions ago on Monday, came back into it slightly, but really was trying to get back up to 1576.09. It failed to do that on Tuesday's bounce that was with light volume, and yesterday heavier volume to the downside. That being said, you are now outside of the trend line. That's also another bearish thing. Really, the key here to be paying attention to on the S&P 500 is going to be that hammer low, which is 1539.50. Now, tomorrow's close is important. A close below 1546.72 is a complete rejection of the October 11th swing point, both on a daily chart and a weekly chart. And what we will see on the weekly chart is we will see volume off the top. So it won't just be volume off the top on the daily. It'll be volume off the top on the weekly, and that is not positive news whatsoever. So making the call of the S&P making nothing more than a dead cat bounce to the 1500 level, that is a simple thing. It's easy to be paying attention to and look at that. It's just normal price moves inside any market. So, folks, if you're off to start your Thursday, have a safe day, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a few. And I mean always want you to be a bricklayer, brick by brick, thought by thought. Folks, you can be a brick mason of your life and build your masterpiece. And always remember, you have an amazing power within yourself, and that power is so strong, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great morning, folks. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.